Hey, Shalom. Before I get this lesson started, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Racha, Kadash, double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Also, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Barakatham to all you brothers and sisters out there that hopefully elect, listening and learning, diligently keeping the faith in our Lord Yahushai until he come and redeem us. So it's the brother Azariah back once more with another lesson going into this recent film Oppenheimer that they just released. Going into the Manhattan Project and the one and only dropping of two atomic bombs on the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now, this really the whole reason why this movie came out is to, you know, through the spirit for the Most High to bring up the wickedness of Esau Edom, to expose just the complete diabolical and satanic nature of this devil. All right. There's been a lot of movies and, films, documentaries coming out about the wickedness of the Edomites in the past few years, and that's all to bring back the remembrance of the wicked, of the deeds of Esau Edom within the earth. You've been having a lot of slavery movies come out, a lot of documentaries come out about the oppression of Jake, done by Esau, and now you have this Oppenheimer film. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, all around the board, there's a heavy inquisition into the history, into the wicked dealings of the so-called white man, you see? And it's all now coming to light. And really when you even go into this, um, when you go into the dropping of these two bombs, it was completely unnecessary, man. You know, like those weapons, which they would deem as weapons of mass destruction. Back then, the bombs that they had, those bombs that they dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they weren't nearly as powerful as what they have today. You see, but nonetheless, they're still weapons of mass destruction. They can delete hundreds of thousands of people within a matter of seconds. When these devils will come out and say, oh, it was to end the war, it was to, stop the bloodshed. But nigga, you want to say you want to stop the war. These devils don't give a damn about war, man. They love war. They've always been at war. Even when you look at America, America has been running for what? Almost 300 years. I think like 240 or 250 years America's, been doing this thing, but even in that time, they've been at war for 95% of the time. Actually, it's probably more than that. It's probably more like 97, man. But that just goes to show you that if these devils need to go to war, look how many wars that they're involved in right now around the planet Earth, man. So this whole thing of we did this to end the war is honestly just complete bullshit. All right, they what I'm saying they just saying that to justify themselves. But when Esau created that weapon of mass destruction, they was itching to use it because they wanted to see the effects of what it would do to people. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we know the scriptures say that the heart of every one of them is deep. Speaking about the Edomites, that they accomplish a diligent search. You see, so Esau is all about testing things out on the human population to see what it what it will do to people. You know what I'm saying? And a World War II, that was just one of them situations where they wasn't going to let a good crisis go to waste. They was going to use the weapon that they had developed. So it wasn't about ending the war. It was really all about bringing the nations under subjection of the rulership of Esau Edom. Even though he already had them pretty much, but there was still a lot of rebellion, against the Western way at that time. A lot of nations were fighting to keep their culture. Esau was, bucking up against that, because at that time during World War II, Japan was an enemy of America. Now today they're allies. You see, so they completely flipped the script. They completely flipped the script. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video here of the actual man that developed the research for the very first atomic bomb, whose name is Robert Oppenheimer, whom the movie is named after. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to ask him, as you see here in the title of the video, was this bomb necessary? Was it necessary to drop the bomb on this nation of people? And we're going to check it out and see the pride of this devil and what he says. All right, because hey, it just shows you even more, man, that even to this day, Esau is still not repentant, and he has the so-called white man has a lot to pay for, man. You know, he has a whole lot to pay for, and the Most High has not forgotten his treacherous deeds. And ultimately, this is why the judgment has been prescribed for Esau, that one day he's not going to exist no more. All right, because he was put on this earth to fulfill the lot of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? You have to be a very wicked, demented, and satanic individual to even create such a device. You know, even though the scriptures say that, the Lord, created the smith that blow the coals, man. You know what I'm saying? So, the Lord put it on Esau's spirit to create this thing. But, of course, that was his whole purpose. You see, Esau's purpose, why the Lord created him, was to be the wicked, was to push, this diabolical vibration within the earth. So we're going to go ahead and check this out.
Looking back now, do you think that our country's use of the bomb was necessary?
I believe that the view which I learned from many, but above all from General Marshall and from Colonel Stimson, the Secretary of War.
It's a lot to pause it so soon, but so this interview was done in 1965. So I believe this is 20 years after those bombs were dropped. I believe the bombs were dropped in 1945. So this is 20 years after the event. So they've had well enough time to reflect on it, to consider how this damaged the Japanese people, and really how it, pretty much shifted the focus of the nations worldwide. But let's listen to what he guys say.
The view that they had, that we would have to fight our way to the main islands, and that it would involve a slaughter of Americans and Japanese on a massive scale, was arrived at by them in good faith, with regret, and on the best evidence that they then had. To that alternative, I think the bomb was an enormous relief. The war had started in 1939. It had seen the death of tens of millions. It had seen brutality and degradation which had no place in the middle of the 20th century.
I'm going to stop it right here, because he just said that, the war started in 1939. Tens of millions have been killed. But you devil, because you see, this is what they do. He talks about the amount of people that died in the war and whatsoever, which they really don't give a damn about that. Because if think about this, right? If tens of millions of people have already died in a war, why would you go and drop atomic bombs, nuclear bombs, on a nation? What, to kill more people? So tens of millions have already died, but yet you're going to go and cause more casualties to end a war. So that just shows you that the mind of this devil is not right. The scriptures say that his spirit, which is lifted up in him, is not upright, man. You see, he has a reprobate mindset. He doesn't have the ability to do righteous judgment. And you could just hear it in his rationale. He said, "Oh, we didn't want the war to continue on no longer, so yeah, we had to do it." In all words, right? Hey, man, hey, that's why Most High is going to destroy this devil. You see? Let me get this real quick. Yeah, Proverbs 12:10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Now, what did he just say? In all words, he basically said that this is a means to an end to this war. Tens of millions have already died, so we had to drop these bombs so we could end everything just once and for all. So to him, this is a form of what? Mercy, right? So, oh, listen, we're actually doing the Japanese a favor by dropping bombs on their country because we need to bring this war to an end. So therefore, we need to drop these bombs, right? What I'm saying, too many people have already died. We've lost too many casualties. This war needs to end. Which really the bulk of the casualties were coming from Edomites, the so-called Europeans, because really that's where the war was at in Europe, right? So it tens of millions of Edomites that were dying in this war, and Japan was aiding that. You see, so they said, yeah, we need to drop these bombs as an experiment. You know what I'm saying, and also to make these nations fear us. You see, so it said, yeah, a righteous man regard the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. So even Esau's most tenderest mercies are still cruel, man. You see that? So see, this man is truly the devil. All right, the devil that the Bible speaks. So let's listen to some more.
And the ending of the war by this means certainly cruel.
And he even admitted himself that the ending of the war by those means was certainly cruel. You see, so he even admitted it himself. He even knew that, that shit was evil. We really dropped nuclear bombs on people, man. Destroyed a whole two cities. Little Man and Fat Man, right? The name of the two bombs that they dropped. Yeah, but hey, you know what I'm saying? He even said himself that, yeah, the means were cruel. You see, but what it say in Proverbs 12:10? The tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. You see, so hey, you can't make this up, man. You see? You can't make this up. This is how Esau gets down. All right, and let's go here to Revelation 13:1, and it says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns." Now, this beast that John the Revelator is seeing in his vision is referring to the NATO and the EU. With America, Babylon the Great being the head of the NATO and the EU. You see, this is what is going into the 7 heads and the 10 horns. Brothers have breakdowns on this understanding. All right, really, this beast. All right, because the fourth beast, would be a revival of the old Roman Empire. You see, this was that deadly wound which was healed and brought back. We'll read it. "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard." That leopard is key because the beginning of the Edomite hegemony upon the earth was started by who? Alexander the Great, and he was known to wear what? Leopard skins into battle. All right, that's why it says, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard." All right, that represents the rulership of Esau, Edom. "And his feet," starting with the Greeks, "and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power, and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death," speaking of the old Roman Empire, the western portion, right, which for the period of 1,000 years, Western Europe did not have any power, all right, because they were conquered by barbarian tribes, and Jake was ruling during the so-called Dark Ages. You see, so Edomite supremacy in the earth, was pretty much non-existent during that period. But it came a period after that 1,000 year period, which was known as the Renaissance, in which Esau came back into power. In Spain with the what they call it, the Reconquest or the Reconquista, right? Where the Edomites, took back rulership from the Moors, over there in Spain, and that's when the whole Renaissance kicked off, and Edomite hegemony was born back into the earth. Then you had the age of colonization, and Esau went out and colonized the earth and spread his philosophy and his way of life. Right? I'm saying that's what that's going on to. One of the heads, as it were, wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. Right? Now keep in mind that, after this happened, all the world wondered after the beast. There was a time in which, all nations wanted to be Edomites, man. You know what I'm saying? All nations wanted, they were enamored. They were captured by, because there was a time when Esau had it good. You know what I'm saying? Like Esau was on top. He was the pinnacle in the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was in his full strength, he had the strongest military. You know, he could impose his will anywhere on any of the nations because his military technology was so far superior to that of anything that the other nations had. I mean, look, this man dropped atomic bombs on people. You see what I'm saying? So what, you know what I'm saying? Like, what can you do with that? But yeah, it says all the world wondered after the beast, and they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. So who gives power unto Esau, Edom? He who was coming is after the working of Satan. Now we know the dragon is referring to who? The spiritual being Satan, right? On the left hand side. So he's, Satan. Esau comes in the spirit, the working of Satan, all right, the devil. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who was able to make war with him? You see that? So when Esau dropped them bombs, right? When Esau dropped them bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the nations already feared Esau because, like I said, he had the far superior military technology. This man had armored warships and tanks and, Gatling guns and, what I'm saying, like automatic weapons and all that. So the nations were already, enamored with that. But then when he dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it was like, damn, this man got power to make fire fall from heaven. Like, this man got power to destroy a whole nation with one, singular device. So that's why it says here, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? No one could make war with Esau during that time. You see, that's why when he dropped that atomic bomb, the earth was quiet. You see, the earth was quiet before Esau when he dropped them bombs, man. Because no one could really do anything. It's like, damn, well, if we come up against Esau, then he gonna bomb us too. So this man has the power to destroy. You see? Which, Yahweh Shah said what? The thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. And who is that thief? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You see? Looking at him right here. So let's continue.
Was not undertaken lightly. But I am not, as of today, confident that a better course was then open. I have not a very good answer to this question.
Dr. Oppenheimer.
So he basically up there saying, well, we had no other choice but to drop them bombs, right? Then he goes on to say, I don't really have, you see, so this devil, you can tell by the look on his face that he's conflicted, man. Like he knows that what they done was a very grievous and wicked thing. That's evil to drop an atomic, but like weapons like that, number one, shouldn't even exist, and then number two, should never be used, upon humans, man. Should never be used upon humanity. But this devil went there. You see, Esau actually went there, man. He actually did that. So do you think that the Most High forgot about that? Even though he dropped the bomb on heathens, but still, you see, the whole point of why these things are coming out now is to expose Esau, the true nature of this devil. You see, because for the longest time he's tried to paint himself as, upright, outstanding man. That he's gotten everything by just hard work. Esau got everything by hard work and then the sweat of his brow. Hell no, nigga. Like, you got what you got through the sword. All right, which, that was prophesied unto you in Genesis 27. Isaac gave you the blessing of the sword. It says, by the sword shalt thou live. So, hey, this devil would live by war. And once again, like I brought out before, as long as America has been in operation, they've been at war over 90% of the time. You shall live by the sword. All right, so this is referring to the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, and this is also why it says in Revelation 17 and 16. Matter of fact, let me go there real quick. One moment. Revelation 17 and 16. Hey, it tells you that, yeah, so that same 10 horns, right? The same 10 horns referring to NATO and the EU. It says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Now the whore is referring to America, Babylon the Great, which rideth the beast. All right, so America is pretty much the head of the beast system. And NATO and the EU, they're like vassal states unto America. All right, that's why pretty much with this whole Russia-Ukraine war, that was America's decision. But because they're allied with America, they have to follow the whore. See, whatever the whore wants to do, the vassal states have to follow because they're all one. So it says here, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked. And even Japan, right? Even Japan is allied with America currently. They're not part of NATO and the EU, but they are allies of America. But even they are going to turn on the whore because, hey, with this movie coming out, that remembrance, that spirit is going to come back into the Japanese. All right, the Lord is going to put a spirit back on them Japanese, man, to remember what America done to them in the past. You know, the wickedness that they done to them people. And guess what? They going to turn on America too. You know what I'm saying? Even Europe, even America's own allies, Europe, it's going to tell you. It says, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Now, how is this going to be done? You see, nuclear missiles are going to be shot over here to America by America's own allies. See, that's what this is saying. For what? For verse 17, for Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, meaning what? He going to put it on their spirit. You see, like I just said, the Most High is going to put his spirit back on the Japanese. He's going to put his spirit on Ishmael. He's going to put his spirit on Elam. He's going to put his spirit on Moab. You see, all these nations, even Russia, which, you know, the Russians are Edomites as well, but the Lord going to put his spirit on them too to destroy the whore. All right. For Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth, which is America. All right. So, hey, the Lord going to put that spirit back on these nations, man. You see, and hey, they're going to burn America with fire because they're going to remember what Esau, Edom has done. You see, now we're going to check this out and we can close out off this video. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, this is 75 years after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You see, so hey, it's going to show you the aftermath of what happened. So let's get into it.
75 years ago, August 9th, 1945, a United States Army Air Force B-29 dropped a 10,000-pound plutonium bomb nicknamed Fat Man over the city of Nagasaki, Japan, 3 days after Hiroshima. Japan surrendered less than a week later, bringing to an end World War II. The decision by President Harry Truman to use the atomic bomb has been debated ever since. So how does it look 3/4 of a century later, especially from the vantage point of someone who was there on the ground? Harry Smith has our Sunday Spotlight.
July 16th, 1945, of that first successful detonation of a nuclear weapon in New Mexico, Robert Oppenheimer, the head of the Los Alamos laboratory, reacted this way.
Line from the Hindu scripture, now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. I suppose we all thought that, one way or another.
Less than a month later, the Enola Gay drops an A-bomb above Hiroshima. It explodes 2,000 feet above the earth. Tens of thousands die instantly.
We shall completely destroy Japan's power to make war.
3 days later, Nagasaki is the target, with a similar result. American Howard Kakita, then 7 years old, had been standing on the roof at his grandparents' home in Hiroshima. His grandmother insisted he come down.
If we stayed on that roof when the bomb exploded, we would have been burnt to a crisp. This is after the A-bomb.
Howard says one way to understand the horror of that day is to look at the numbers of American lives lost thus far to COVID-19.
That took 8 months. That one primitive bomb in Hiroshima killed the same number of people in a very fraction of a second.
Yet as
And hey, them people over there are still suffering to this day. You know, people still suffering from all kind of radiation sickness. You know, babies being born with certain health defects because of the high radiation in those areas. You see, so once you drop a nuclear bomb on a place, really, it'll, you know, wherever that bomb is dropped, it'll never be the same again. You know, because that's how powerful and destructive that it is, man. So the fact that Esau did this and justified it, you know, again, you know, it just shows you, you know, just basically, in all words, that this man is the devil. All right, this man is coming in the power of Satan, man. You see, to kill, to steal, and to destroy. All right, this man has wasted the earth. So let's go ahead and check this out. Let's get this. All right. Psalms 10 and verse 2. And it says, the wicked in his pride does persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. You see that? So this is the mindset of the wicked, man. This is the mindset of Esau Edom. When he dropped them bombs, he said what? The man was boasting of his heart's desire. Now, what did the president just say in that video? He said, we must destroy Japan's ability to make war. Right? So what, you can't invade? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got to drop atomic bombs on people, man. You see, and this just shows you that the white man is the devil, because he's the only nation that has ever done that. That's the only time in history that an atomic bomb was ever dropped on a people. And guess who did it? The devil, the so-called white man. You see that? That's the only time that it's ever happened, man. You see? No other nation can say that, yeah, you know, we went to those lengths to drop nuclear bombs on people. Nobody else can say that except the so-called white man. You see? He says his ways are always grievous. You see? Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. Once again, the spirit that is lifted up in him is not upright, man. You see, Esau has a reprobate spirit. He actually believes that dropping atomic bombs on people is a form of mercy. You see that? But hey, the devil is so proud. His countenance is so, far removed from the Most High that, hey, the Most High is not in all his thoughts. This man does not seek after the counsel of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. He seeks after the counsel of Hashatan, the devil, Satan. You see? He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved. So, hey, Esau really don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this devil like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're going to drop this atomic bomb, and who's going to stop me? See? That's the attitude of Esau Edom. I can do whatever I want to do because ain't nobody going to stop me. Not even Yahweh Bashem Yahushua can stop me. See? That's how this devil get down, man. You see, but hey, the Most High is going to destroy all that pride that Esau got, man. See, because Esau's so proud because he really hasn't taken no L's. Esau just been winning all this time, going to war against any nation that he want, coming away with the spoils, dropping atomic bombs on people, going in and knocking off leaders, setting up puppet leaders to so he can control the narrative and control the resources of whatever nation that he want to go into. See, all the wickedness of this man is coming out, man. That's why it says in Obadiah that, hey, the Lord is going to make Esau bare. You see, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the Lord is lifting up the skirt of the Edomite and exposing him and exposing his true nature. Revelation 11:8. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Which who destroyed the earth? Esau, Edom. You see? Esau, Edom destroyed the earth, man. You know? Because here it is. This man is, you know, poisoning the water. He poisoned the air. He dropping nuclear bombs on people. You know, this man creating GMOs. You know, like what you listen, why you think everybody is so sick, man? Why you think all the marine life is dying off? You barely see butterflies outside. You know what I'm saying? Like you barely see certain creatures outside no more, man. Why? Because the earth is defiled. All right? And who has rulership over the planet Earth? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, which is who? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You see, so under his rulership, under his vibration, the whole earth is out of course. Everything is out of whack. You have, I just seen an article the other day where it said that 20-something whales had washed up on a beach. You see, and guess what? Guess what the kicker was? All of them was full of plastic. All the whales that washed up on this beach, man, was full of plastic. Now, who's responsible for that? You already know. Listen, I ain't even got to say it. You already know who's responsible for that, man. So, once again, Revelation 11:18, and should destroy them which destroy the earth. See, this is what's coming for this devil. You know, slavery. And all this that Esau done, you know, all this that he done, man, all this wickedness. This is why the Lord's going to utterly destroy this, man. So I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. Hopefully this lesson was edifying through the Rachah Kadash. In closing, call halal, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Rachah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, come Yasha'ala DTA and a Bible ball. Shalom to the elect.